You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and love more than you know. Hi everyone! Today for our mini lesson we are going to focus on the conflict and the resolution in a story. So remember in class we did our story mountain? So here is an anchor chart that is a story mountain, and we are only going to focus on the yellow circles. So if you look, the yellow is the rising action. It's where the problem starts. So let's read that together. Where the main character faces a series of conflicts or problems. So when you have a story, when you're reading the story, you will understand it better if you can identify the problem of the story. That is your main goal. After you find out what the characters are, what the setting is, your next goal is to find out what is the problem. What is the character facing? Also, when you're writing a story, in order to make the story more interesting, make sure that the main character has a problem. So now let's focus on the second circle, which is the resolution. Let's say it together, resolution. The resolution is the end or the final outcome of the story. Now, usually there is a solution and the character learns to solve his problem or her problem. But sometimes there are times when there might not be an actual problem solved. So there might be some kind of an end, just a resolution. So let's look at the I do next. And we are going to focus on finding the problem, which is the conflict, and the resolution, the outcome of the story. As we read this short text, I want you to think about what the conflict is with the main character and how he was able to solve his problem. The rich life of Farmer Brown. There once lived a rich farmer. Oh yes, his crops and animals grew beautifully, but it was Farmer Brown's heart that made him rich. Many people experienced his kindness. Farmer Brown had fed, clothed, and housed almost every living person within 10 miles of his farm. Then one spring day, a disaster struck. A tornado swept through the land. It destroyed everything in its path. Farmer Brown's house, crops, and animals were gone. "Oh dear," he cried. "Mrs. Jones will starve. The Smith baby needs fresh milk to survive." As Farmer Brown stood among the ruins, he experienced great emptiness. Then he heard a rumbling in the distance. At first he thought it was thunder. Then he saw a line of trucks and tractors kicking up dust as they neared his farm. Townspeople piled out of the trucks and a whirlwind of activity began. They worked to restore Farmer Brown's home and land. People hammered and planted. Others brought food and animals. By the end of the day, the farm looked as if it had never even been touched by a tornado. When the last truck drove away to the sound of crickets, Farmer Brown smiled. The tornado had proved that he was indeed a very rich man. So were you able to find the problem, the conflict to the text that we just finished reading? It was pretty easy, wasn't it? So let's look at the problem that Farmer Brown had. So his problem was that a tornado struck town and it destroyed his house, his crops, and his animals. So notice that the problem is always going to be at the beginning of the story. And then obviously the solution is going to be more towards the end of the story. So the solution to Farmer Brown's problem was that the townspeople actually came out and they helped them to get everything back. They brought him animals, they restored his house. So just make sure that you reference back to the Story Mountain anchor chart, and it will help you when we do our read aloud. And then you're going to do a graphic organizer just like the one that's listed here. And by the way, as I'm doing my read aloud and everything, guess who's here? This is my kitty, and he came to visit. All right, let's go ahead and do the read aloud. The rain and the snow. One day, the rain and the snow came out at the same time. "Go home, Snow," said Rain. "No one needs you." Snow asked, "Who says so, Rain?" "It is you that no one needs." "That is not so," Rain assured Snow. "People do need me. Now go home. I am growing impatient with you." Rain and Snow kept up their bellowing. All the while the sun hovered over them. Sun was the eldest of the three. Rain said to Snow, "Let us ask Sun. She has much wisdom. Let Sun say which of us is needed and which is not." "That is fine with me," said Snow. Snow followed Rain. They plodded up and up on a long, slow journey. At last, the two reached the glowing sun. Sun beamed at them. "Rain, Snow, I am so glad to see you." Rain said, "Sun, we have entrusted you with settling a problem for us. I claim that no one needs snow." "I claim that no one needs rain," Snow said. "There, Sun," Rain crowed, "that shows the work I do. When rain is scarce, people complain. Their wheat and oats do not grow." Sun said, "I admire your diligence, Rain. Now, I know Snow must be impatient. Let's let her show the work she does." Snow sent down hundreds of snowflakes. They were blown all over. In no time, the land was all white. People on the road could not finish their journey. "I cannot tell from what you say," Sun explained. "I must know what you can do. The two of you must show me what you do for people. Then I can say who is needed and who is not." "That is fine," Rain said. "I will show you what I do." He sent down a bountiful flow of rain. It soaked the land. It made the grass and the willow trees grow. Children and grown-ups looked out their windows. Then they ran outside. They laughed as they made animal shapes in the snow. They had fun throwing snowballs. "Do you see that, Sun?" crowed Snow. "People like to play in the snow. They complain when it is scarce." Rain and Snow looked up at Sun. They waited for her to speak her wisdom. "I am the eldest," said Sun. "Let me show you the work I do." Sun glowed at the rain, which stopped flowing. In its place was a fine rainbow. Then Sun glowed at the snow, which melted. The white land went back to being green. "Speak little and do a lot," said Sun. "People need each of you. Go out and do what you can for them. That is your destiny." So now we are at the conflict and resolution graphic organizer, and it's your turn to find out what was the conflict, what was the problem that the characters were facing in the read aloud. And notice I already helped you with a sentence stem, which is the conflict the characters facing or having is. And then on the other side, what is the resolution? What was the solution to that problem? And the sentence stem I gave you is the resolution was. So that's all you have to do is go ahead and go back, Look for the conflict. Remember, the conflict or the problem is going to be at the beginning, and the resolution / solution is going to be at the end. So what should you turn in at the end? Number 1, your graphic organizer for the rain and the snow. And number 2, all the extra practice work of the 3 small passages. So make sure you upload to your Dojo portfolio when you are done. And if you have any questions, make sure you message me or you join me live at 1 p.m. on Thursday for any questions you might have. Have a good day.